This is comedy, bitch. Welcome back to your favorite show. Looks like we're on time this week. Nice. Just took my morning dab, so you know I'm feeling great. Because I'll let this intro gestate. You know, I thought we were going to have a sleepy little Saturday episode, man. I really did. No part of me thought that we weren't going to have more to talk about than the stupid bullshit that I had seen throughout the week, the little collection of activities that I had prepared. And of course, this is going to be another solo episode. You know, I like having guests on. I talked about this last week, but there is something freeing about just doing you. I don't have to be responsible for somebody else's thoughts or feelings. I don't have to, not that I ever aim to do this anyway, but I don't have to police myself or others or worry about if something I'm going to say they might not pick up on or take the wrong way. It's a intricate dance, potting with other people. But even though it's a challenge, it's an interesting one. You like having fun with people. And I'm trying not to fall into a dedicated co-host position. That's not something I necessarily want to have as a running theme. We've already had Chef on twice. We've had Broseph on twice. I don't want to just play the hits in a way and then bring somebody else back that I've already worked with so soon. Not that I wouldn't want Drew or Layton to come back on. That's beside the point. And to be honest with you, if they're willing, of course, I can't guarantee anything, but and I don't see why they wouldn't. But yeah, you don't like to speak for other people. But I'd love to have Layton and Drew both back on at an eventual point for solo episodes, just so I could get a little more close with them. I had a lot of fun being the fourth horseman for the big episode I had managed to get put together, which doesn't happen unless everybody is willing to collaborate. That's something that people should really think about a lot more. You know, when people are being honest with you or upfront and saying, hey, this is where I'm at, this is what's going on, if you can't have a plan of action or think about the next step, you're not really invested in whatever the fuck it is you're putting your time into, which that would be a waste by definition, you know what I mean? But there's people out there where if you do a certain action, which normally doesn't cost you much, you might change somebody's life for the better, even though it won't change yours. And it's tough for us to do that, right? When we know that something insignificant almost, if we were willing to just participate, although it's not our blessing, we get to be a part of witnessing that blessing for somebody else and somewhat enabling it. It's not ours to give, but we allowed it to be received. You know what I mean? There's something to that. But people have lost their nobility. They're looking for their reward at the end of the mission. Some World of Warcraft Fallout shit. Palm open, hey, where's my payment for this task I just did for you? And I mean, even in those little worlds, homie, you did have the altruistic option of saying, I don't need anything, almost every time. And you had to decide what that meant, you know? At the end of the day, it's just pixels and people that aren't real and events that won't ever happen. But does that change what you should do? Is it fun to roleplay and do things you never do? Sure. But in a way, you have done them by doing it in this world. So it goes to show that if you were told it wasn't real, you would do it. And you should let that shit sink in. Because I don't want to get too psychological. I really want to talk about this scary shit off the top of the show. Because I was in, we're going to just put that to bed. But think about that shit. I know it's heavy. We're only, 5 minutes in, barely. And I'm already dropping some shit like that to challenge your mental framework. But again, this show isn't supposed to be what anybody tries to make it out to be. I'm not ever concerned about trying to meet an expectation somewhat. And you saw that when I wasn't bringing guests on, my whole shit was about me letting myself down. It wasn't that, the fans are, no. I'm very happy that there's a couple people, like a couple handfuls of people that tune into my shit. And look, I know you don't like the video. I would appreciate it if you would. You don't have to. But if you're listening and you're giving my shit a chance and you're hanging out every week consistently like you have been, because I see the consistent numbers, I don't have to be mad that I don't every episode get 200 or 300 views. That's okay. But I'm not even getting dislikes. That's the thing I'm trying to point out. I'll go look at YouTube Studio at the interaction rates, and there's high watch time, but people are just not leaving a like. A comment is different. I understand if you don't really want to put yourself out there. It's hard to be like a visible fan of somebody or whatever, and I have a few people who are willing to do that, and that's good enough for me. If more people come along, cool. Whatever comes from this is great. I don't have any objectives or goals. There's no point to this. And anybody who's been tuning in since the first episode knows. I mean, everything that I do is so anti-humor. This is supposed to get you a little pissed off, and you're supposed to have things to comment or bitch about, and they're never going to be listened to. And if that isn't received well, then you are not my target audience. You might be the butt of the joke. Andy Kaufman pissed a lot of people off, and he's one of my favorites. So again, I couldn't give a fuck less. The people who have shitty things to say about me. Brother, I grew up in the Call of Duty era where the hard R was just casually thrown like a boomerang. That's the bottom line. I've heard it all. People have said the worst about me. What's that old line? I'm trying to think of the comedian who said it, but I've said worse shit to myself in the mirror. And it's the truth. I mean, I don't care about anybody that they think they can hurt me or they want to hurt me even. If your goal or your objective is to try and tear somebody like me down, you might have to refocus your sights or check your sight. It's not even about same team or friendly fire, but there's worthier out there, and I'm very neutral to this shit. I don't have too much of a stake in anything. That does bother people when you don't participate in certain aspects of the system. But a hoax is a hoax, a hoax, a hoax. You know what I mean? I don't want to do any of that dumb shit or have to compare myself with how you do things in order to have some level of equilibrium I'm good on that. I'd rather just anybody who has a misinterpretation or an issue at this point, keep that. Because before, I wanted to go out of my way and try and see if I could reconcile shit. That's just the good nature in me. But, you know, your family, they try to console you on shit. And when you do that enough, but you end up being the person who suffers because of your goodwill, it's not that you're wrong for having goodwill, but you may need to start being a little more selective about who receives that goodwill from you, which is very fucking true. Not everybody needs your kindness or love. That doesn't mean hate them or treat them like shit. And I don't mean to say ignore people either, but sometimes you gotta say fuck them without saying fuck them. I've been saying fuck them a lot. I've lost a lot of good people in my life. And I'm still here trying to be objective about things, show love, not over intrude in people's business, but if I see something, I get involved once in a while. And nobody likes feeling, you know, horse with the carrot on the rope and stick dangling in front of you. And you're never going to get it. It's just there to make you keep going. It's a motivator. Fuck all that, man. So, to those of you who do rock with me, to be genuine, I appreciate it. And anybody who, even if you're engaging negatively, thanks in a way. Because you are building a story. It might not be one that you have total control over, but in the words of Sinatra, that's life. So, as we go into the breaking news topic, holy shit, I was hanging out in Vandal's stream last night, watching the creative process behind what he does, polishing up and adding keys to the Bobby Lee figure, and then finishing up the one for Lemon Party, which looks sweet. Gonna be cool. We're just hanging out, riffing, laughing about shit, and I don't want to. This part's hard for me to talk about, which is weird. I know it's gonna be weird for me, but whatever. He's sending me some shit, and I don't even know if I want to share it. Because, like, that's so cool and personal to me, I don't even know if I want to, like, you know what I mean? But then there's the other part of me that's like, yeah, but he sent you this shit, and there's probably people in that community that, like, want to celebrate that with you. So, I'm kind of at a crossroad. I'll have to see when it happens, where I'm at in the moment. Maybe I'll just, you know, man up and do it. Or maybe I'll just keep it my little secret that I don't need to brag about to anybody. And it'll just be my cool shit. And maybe you'll see it in the background when I do my podcast appearances on one of the shows. You know what I mean? It might just be something like that. It might just be some low-key, like, I don't know how else to explain it to you, but something very special that I am very grateful for. And, yeah, not to spend too much time dick riding. It's nice when people give a fuck. I say that a lot on this podcast. It's nice. It's nice when people give a fuck. So I appreciate that. Shout out to Vandal. Go check out his store. That Whataburger shit is popping off right now, the kid who got fired. And he's got a Whataburger Vandal. Go get him. But yeah, we're hanging out in his stream, right? Having a good time, riffing. The next thing I know, Iran and a joint operation between the United States and Israel. thought we were cooling things down. What happened? Where's things gonna go now? Where are these things gonna go? There's already been so much going on. And we've known about the civil unrest going on over there. As we comment on it, but keep a distance as well. And now we're going in and taking advantage of that? It's tough for me. Because I live here. And as sad as things have been getting, I still love it here and love my people. But I also love other people too. However, I recognize that just because you love something doesn't mean it loves you. And part of me has started recognizing other cultures as not animals. Please don't take this the wrong way, 'cause I'm not in the mood. But let's take a country like India, for example. And no, I'm not going to be the guy who just dunks on them and, you know, it's all about the Grey Poupon. And listen, when I look at these other countries, now instead of just seeing a place that I could go visit and have a good time, you know, like as if you were hanging out with a dog or a cat, and keep in mind, even dogs and cats will occasionally like bite you or turn on you, but the rate to that is so low, we tend to forget that they can fuck with us. And sometimes we don't prevail depending on how big the dog is. I mean, you've seen those, you know, at-home videos of a big-ass fucking, you know, like a Doberman or something, just mauling a mother because she was like, you sit down, and like said it too loud and the dog didn't like it and just fucking rips her face off. And so, but that's not what I'm you know what I mean? That's just to give you an idea of where I'm going with any of this. When I see India now, I see a tiger. I see a lion. I'm not gonna say a cow. That's not threatening enough. You could maybe say a bull, right? I say, I think I see a shark. Trying to give you the idea of creatures that we admire, and everybody wants to swim with the sharks until the shark circle, one of them is like, all right, time to go in for the first bite. They've spent all their time sizing you up, and now they're like, time to chomp, and you miss the tap on the nose to make him go night-night, and he gets you, and it's over. Now the blood's in the water, and they're all going for you. And that's the thing. I 100% mean this, where in the wilderness, if you saw a mountain lion, you saw a cougar, you saw a panther, you saw a tiger, you saw a gorilla, you saw an elephant, you saw a rhino. If you saw any of this shit, you're not going to just leave your safety of your, and it's not even like the car protects you, but you're not going to go from where you feel safe and walk right up to the fucking tiger and be like, oh, you my sweet little pussy cat, meow meow. You're not gonna do that. That thing is gonna fucking kill you. You're gonna die. And you know that. You're not making it out of that one. So, that's the way that I view these other areas now. I mean this. It's these territories that you hear about, families where people get abducted or strange things happen. I mean, even our border countries like Mexico, we have crazy shit that happens. And nobody ever really seems to want to look into the dealings of Canada. Canada tries to pride itself on being clean of corruption. No offense to that country, but if you see the way that they handle their political discourse, it's all a fucking performative act. It's not real. It's a bunch of people standing up one at a time, and then one side of the room applauds, then the other side of the room applauds, and they just go back and forth applauding themselves, and they never really get anything done. I'm sorry if that is shitty to say, because again, I don't want to have beef with Canadians. It's just, I recognize this to a level that you had Trudeau for a long time, who was just completely terrible, you know. And I've been so detached. I could admit, I don't even know if that guy really did step down and Poilievre, or however you say that fucker's name in the opposition, I don't know if he ever took over. The guy I'm talking about is the dude who, he takes the bite out of the apple. He's like, oh yeah, these people are saying these things about me, and what people are these? Well, what people are these that you're mentioning? Can you give me one source or one name? And the reporter couldn't, which was just funny of this guy to size up this dude who was way out of his league and not prepared to talk to a politician. And he got outclassed through just simple wordplay. Which, that's their game, right? That's what these guys are known for. They know how to do that. They know how to play games with you. And I just... It's a shame that if it can happen there, what else is going on? And there's a lot of, whether it's, narcotics or trafficking, there's a lot of people who, Canada's in the conversation too. Nobody likes to say it this way, but there's a reason that our rules changed with them. It's not just about 9/11. It's more than that. There's a reason why our relationship has changed with them. But, we're doing our own things too. So I'm not going to act like we're all perfect and making the right outcome. We could be feeding into World War III. That's what this could all be the precipice of, this attack of Iran. Which, to me, it seems unprovoked. I thought that they were trying to solve the crisis there. I thought that they wanted peace. And the next thing I know, it's 2 in the fucking morning and I'm stoned out of my mind hanging out with people I enjoy being around, and I gotta hear about fucking Iran. If it's not a flock of seagulls, why in the fuck would I want to listen to Iran? I don't get it. Where is this going to be a positive outcome in any world? We can't just keep walking across the Middle East as if this is some type of, I don't want to put it out there and cast any dispersions. I mean this. But you don't want to come across as some type of new Reich. You know what I mean? Because that's what it seems like. It's the right. I'm not calling America or Israel Nazis. That's not what I'm doing. But there's an argument to be made by people who aren't here, who have an outside opinion. They see us and what we're doing. And the word genocide has been thrown around a couple times. Is what happened in Gaza going to happen to Iran now? I think that's more so what I'm trying to get at, because it's not that we were the ones that did that to Gaza, but now we're actively participating in what's going on with Iran. And how far is this going to go? How many more noble souls do you need to consume before you're satisfied? To quote a great man. I worry about what's gonna happen now. We'll get to see if they're bluffing about their nuclear arsenal. I've been playing a lot of Fallout, so I'm not 3 or 4. I'm playing 1. I'm having fun with 1, a very difficult playthrough. I'm at the hub right now, and I just killed Lorenzo, and I did like you borrow money and give it back. You can get like the maximum amount, and then you just kill him. But he's a bad guy, so it's good to kill him. I didn't just kill him because I'm doing an evil playthrough. No, I've been doing as much good as I can. Like, I fixed the ghoul town correctly. I didn't just take the water chip. I fixed the pump, and then took the chip and bounced after talking to everybody and like getting all the shit that I could. Never got kidnapped in my playthrough either, which I guess is not difficult, but doesn't happen really. Most people get kidnapped and tortured and go and meet like the super mutant boss and all that shit, which is kind of crazy. But anyway, yeah, it just seems like we're in the end times. All this doomsaying that I recall from Tim Dillon over the years is finally catching up with us. You know, I don't even really listen to Tim like that anymore. Not that I hate him. It's like the wound is still too fresh. Isn't that weird? Like, I'm not Ben. It didn't happen to me. But it hurts to go listen to Tim's show because I know Ben's not on it. But I can listen to Ben's shows even though Tim's not on it. Because I know that I don't want to say I'm on like the right side of history. That's so fucking stupid, but you get what I mean. It's just I've made my choice. And once in a while I do occasionally pop my head into a premiere that Tim does. And I post the lemon party emojis. I did it recently. Shout out to anybody who was there if they saw me. You know, people do shit just to do it, so figure out what you want to do. You might be running out of time with this Iran shit. Now, I think we've drowned enough time in the state of disarray. But I wanted to touch on that because, again, I had a unique opportunity since I do a Saturday show, and this all happened in the AM hours of today. I have a unique opportunity to talk about it to anybody who wants to hear. But I don't want to just become Last Week with John Oliver. I don't want to only do a certain type of show. I do like every episode to be a little different. I don't want it to always have the same vibe. Some people don't like doing it, and maybe nobody would participate. Or maybe some people would. It'd be fun. I wouldn't have to schedule bits and make it fake like all these other shows did back in the day. But, you know, set up a number. It's not hard. You don't have to spend money on that shit. But set up a number. Have people call in. And we could either do it in some type of live capacity. I don't know. I don't know if I'd want to do it live. I think I just have to do it the way Stavi does. Have, like, people leave a message pre-recorded. We play the message on the pod. And then I talk about it. We could always try to call these fuckers back, too. Maybe that could be my angle. You know what I mean, guys? Call in with some shit you want to talk about that's funny or whatever. It doesn't have to be like a relationship problem. I don't want to be the love guru. No offense. And then, yeah, I'll be able to try and call you back and talk about it on the show. could work. Could also bomb completely. Who knows, maybe that's bonus content territory. That's something I'll have to think about and play around with in my head. You know what I mean? Gotta play around with that, baby. But I think we got something there. That sounds like some fire. Yeah, man. I haven't really been doing much. Just trying to get through this fucking winter. I know everybody else has been dealing with it. I haven't posted any pictures. It's finally melting now. But it was terrible for a while. Not proud to say that I'd gotten my car stuck 2 times. This is a week ago. It was early in the morning. And guess what? It started raining during the entire thing. So it's cold out. And I'm dressed for this, luckily. But it took 2 hours to get unstuck the first time. So I was completely drenched. And you better believe that nobody was stopping. Nobody gave a fuck, right? Somebody went past me 2 times, like the same person. Didn't give a fuck. That's okay. I get it. We all got our own lives. Why help somebody else? Fuck them. So 2 hours. And I did need help to do that. I'm thinking that I can just, go back and park it. Nope, I get stuck again because the whole road is just 2 inches of ice. And because of how the sun had hit everything prior, it was just an ice rink. A little slide of pure ice. There was no getting my vehicle out of that situation. And I couldn't leave the vehicle, because here in the state of Michigan, if you leave the vehicle, it can be towed immediately. There's no forgiveness on that. There's no going over to the shoulder and leave. They will tow it. They don't care. So, I was stuck in a bad situation, and after 3 hours, I was drenched, I was exhausted. I didn't go and make any money that day. And I got sick from that for a couple days. Now look, it's not sad time for Indian. That's not what this is. But that shit, it changes you. When you have to go through a hardship that no one else will share with you, you really are alone. That cuts deep. I'm lucky that I had my family to be able to. They couldn't do much, but they were able to, sit in the driver's seat, reverse while I pushed after all the shoveling I did to get out. Because I don't know if you guys realize, but you don't really get good traction on ice. It's not happening. So yeah, it's just a tough time. And I admire everybody I see that they're out here just trying to get an extra buck or two. Shout out to Dave and Brosif. I really like what they're doing with their show. I like how Dave's sharing his platform with Brosif, and it's really generous of you, man. I think Brosif sees the opportunity too with both eyes wide open. Like he knows what he's getting into with you. You were spitting some game. I wouldn't mind coming on one time, but I also don't want to just invite myself onto people's shit no more. Not that I feel like I have been doing that, but I really am not trying to crash anybody's party. I like to go where I feel welcome. If I don't feel the vibe, you're probably not going to catch me around. And speaking of not catching people around, where the fuck is Daisuke? I haven't seen that guy in like a month. Dude, I hope you're not dead. If you are, rest in peace to a fucking legend, man. That guy's been just out of the picture. Haven't seen him nowhere. Yeah, like I pay attention to shit like that. Can't be on top of everything, but you know, I do my best. Trust me, I'm not too pleased with everything either. I'm very critical when it comes to myself and what I do. Even now, it's not like much happened this week. Not really. You had the dude who dropped the hard R. That was wild. I don't think that was on anybody's bingo card. And look, I get it. Tourette's is a disorder, and I'm not up here to say that guy's a piece of shit. If none of you remember the legend of Tourette's guy, he's still around. When I've told people that he's still alive and uploading new content, it's blown their mind. He actually released on his new YouTube page that he's had for, it's not you, but it's new to the story. It's probably 8 years old now or something, but when he really did come back after being gone and people were like, oh, he died, it was just as funny, recorded the same way, like they still had the same house and everything, so it just worked. And they just released an hour-and-a-half compilation, all in HD. I mean, you could AI interpolate that to make it even better quality, but there's something about how old and diminished it is that makes it better. Like, it adds to the nostalgia factor for me. But there were so many good bits from the Tourette's guy's days, and I mean, you could tell if that was acting, it was really good. Sometimes you felt like it was, like when he would do the Unsolved Mysteries bit, that seemed fake. The one where he goes for the job interview does not seem fake. That shit seems real as hell. When the black dude's trying to beat his fucking ass. And everybody remembers the Tourette's guy's dad. Everybody remembers that guy. He's still alive in the lore of the videos. I don't know if he's passed now. It's like you never really know. They've never come forward and done an interview. They've never talked to anybody. They've intentionally avoided the spotlight with people. And I'm sure if anybody's ever actually seen them in person, there's been some type of conversation about, hey, we don't do interviews, we don't like to talk to people about shit. We're glad you appreciate it, but we live a private life. Again, those are some of the best videos that exist on the internet, and those are people that you don't know shit about. There's no reality show about Tourette's guy. If there had been a fucking reality show about Tourette's guy, that would have changed everything. Because they would have just gotten the best unfiltered moments. They would have had cameras everywhere. And it just would have been so funny. You know, the moments when he would get pissed off, and I'm sure he would have turned on the camera crew and just be like, turn that shit off! Piss! And just, they're still rolling, and it would turn into some like Bam Margera shit. Just chasing the camera crew around the house. Yeah, shout out to Tourette's guy, man. Wasn't the point of this conversational thread, but I will never be upset about deviating into that realm. That dude's a goat. But yeah, you got a dude with Tourette's in the crowd. I think that's a shame on you for going there and thinking you're not going to say that. If you know you've got that one in the chamber, and you're just playing Russian roulette at an award ceremony, buddy, wrong place, wrong time. And he's been getting eaten up all week about this shit. They are cooking him. And I mean, would you be happy? Would it make you feel good while two black people were up there? He just let that rip. You can't feel right about it. It almost feels like that episode of South Park where Cartman can't stop saying shit and then he goes on TV. Starts talking about his cousin. And again, I know this has kind of been covered, but I just wanted to talk about it a little bit because we're towards the end of the show anyway. This is where we kind of start going into the wrap-up segment. And I thought about having some shit kind of loaded up to play or whatever. There's another thing I'll talk about a little bit, but it's not even really... It's not on my radar enough that I'm like, yeah, this is good forte. But man, you just are not thinking. Hopefully people get over it. Maybe this is a psyop. Maybe Trump paid this guy $5 million through one of his aides. The same way that you use dummy bank accounts. Just a deposit from a deposit from a deposit from a deposit, Russian doll style. He's like, this is what I need you to do. I need you to go to the awards, and I need you to wait for a black guy. They look like Obama. We could all be getting tricked right now because he doesn't want anybody thinking about, the you-know-who files, the he who must not be named files. Could just be a psyop. Lil Bud. And Alex Jones isn't going to tell you it is or isn't. Like, that's not... If he was ever an architect of the truth, those days are long gone. That ship has sailed, baby. He has moved on to greener fucking pastures. We all gotta move on eventually. So I get it with him. I really do. He spent a long time beating on a drum that I don't think anybody wanted to put up with anymore. I wouldn't want to put up with that shit. Fuck, he almost lost everything. Maybe he should have. Maybe that's the timeline everybody wants to live in, the one where Alex Jones lost everything and then came back more powerful. I don't know. Now he's not even a real person to people. You see that Jim Carrey shit? Oh boy, that looked fucking weird. I don't know if he got some work done in a significant way, or if that's just a reptilian shapeshifter. But what the fuck is going on with Jim Carrey, man? Father Time has been cruel to that man. And he's one of the funniest motherfuckers. I grew up watching all his shit. And that dude looks like Nosferatu. His fucking soul has been sucked out. Jim, I don't know what's going on, bud, but everybody was circulating that video of you going on, what was it, Kimmel? Saying, yeah, I'm talking about this sign, man. I wanna let it all out. I wanna let everybody know the truth. You know. How much of that is real and how much of that is just performative? Especially when you start looking into the darker aspects of what's in the fucking files. And you don't know what's real and what isn't. It's all conveniently timed. In the era of Grok, ChatGPT, Perplexity. So how do you know? How do you know any of it is actually real? We're basically in the moon landing situation again. We've been faking shit and subverting truth for a long time. We're not the only people. I just mean humanity as it. You know, the totality of humanity, that has been one of our angles since the dawn of time. We've always been good at tricking something to get our way, like an animal, like fishing. Oh, we throw this in, they think they're eating food. Nope, now we yank you out of the water, your life's over, so we can live for a day. Don't for a minute sit up here and think that we're really too different. We all do the same fucking shit. And then we're just mad about the most trivial of things. The Russians used to call it Parmesan cheese problems. I think that's a funny way of looking at it, of phrasing it. Because really, there's more important shit going on, especially in your immediate vicinity, than worrying about other countries. And we did just spend time talking about Iran. That's going to impact us because that's us initiating something that we probably shouldn't have done. That's Trump and Bibi. And Bibi hands Trump a stick, and he's like, hey, see that bee's nest? Poke it. And Trump's poking that fucking bee's nest, man. If Brosif were on, I know he'd be going in right now. I hope he doesn't get fucking disappeared. That dude's just trying to be another purveyor of the truth, but yeah, the truth has ways of doing the opposite of the old saying of setting you free. It tends to trap you. The truth traps you. That's why people move in the shadows. That's why you have all these groups that are doing what they can to keep certain ideas or mentalities alive. Because it's a real knife fight out there. Now, I do want to say again, thank you to everybody. If you've been showing up, I appreciate your engagement. Don't feel like you got to do anything special with this episode. I said at the beginning, if you made it this far, a like would be alright. That would be cool with me. Just interact with it. You want to dislike it, that's fine too. I'm not here to tell you to just love my shit. If you didn't like it, that's good too, honestly. The downvotes are fine. There needs to be contention. I should be back for next week. I don't know if I'm going to take a break. I might take like a 1 week break. Plenty of people do it. Or if I have time, I might pre-record an episode in advance. But, you know, part of the luxury of that week in between is it gives me time to, again, nothing is prepared, but I can have an idea of what I want to talk about. It's kind of like how, you know, Lil Wayne, when he was up in the booth, he's just kind of workshopping it in his brain and freestyles it. It's the same concept. I have it all up here, and I'm kind of shaking it around, snow globe style, and it eventually looks pretty good. And I never know what to think of my own shit, because again, it's just me talking. So as long as the recording sounds good, that's really what I care about. Everything else is secondary. And it should be. Like, people should not care about too much of the shit that doesn't matter. Get the product out. Have a product out so that people can criticize it. When you have a product out, you're accomplishing something. Just constantly saying that you're gonna do something, it gets old. People get sick of hearing the same shit over and over again. And then you're not seen as reliable. Why do you think I was so hard on myself about having guests come on? Kept setting shit up and wasn't meeting my expectation. That has an echoing effect. So you have to be careful. We're all doing the best we fucking can. I think that's going to be it for us today. This was productive, though. Much love to all my people. And don't forget, if you are interested, there is bonus content. For the time being, I have to do one every week. That's my obligation. Whether troll or not, if I have a member paying at that $5 level, which I currently do. Shout out to Mr. Spanky812. Appreciate you, big dog. I know who you are. Appreciate you. But I will be doing another bonus. You can expect that in a few days. Catch you on the flip side, bitches. Next week or not. Easy come here, let me feel the fire. Easy come here, let me feel the fire.